2-niner, 3-niner, 1-niner, 49-niner, 39-niner, 2. Okay, so looks like we're live. SENECA 5, twin engine, beautiful livery here, gray and dark gray color with a whitish grayish silver. I love it, man. So this will be an interesting flight because the skies are clear. We're doing this in real time from a Grant County, Washington. It's a beautiful part. That's just east of Seattle, like way middle of the state. It's like really like a Sasquatch country. It's like the middle of a George Washington state called Grant County, and from Grant County, Washington, we're gonna enter into British Columbia and fly all the way from left to the right side of the Rocky Mountains, fly all the way to a Prince George, British Columbia, Canada. It's gonna be a beautiful route, and especially since it's clear skies, we'll probably go to about 12,000 altitude, and we'll have a nice view from 12,000 altitude, from 12,000 feet. Excuse me. This is gonna be a great flight, man. And as you can see, the mountain terrain here and everything, it's just a perfect spot. The flight's gonna be probably about hour and a half, probably hour, maybe hour and a half, something like that, hour 15 minutes, depending if there's any difficulties, You cannot go into space, unfortunately. It's not a space simulator, it's a flight simulator, and they don't have those kind of experimental airplanes to do that. If there is a freeware airplane that can do that, I don't know. But I haven't seen one so far. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's do this flight. It's going to be a pretty cool flight because it's the clear skies. Right now we're at the Grant County, I'm sorry. This is Washington. Grant County International Airport. It's right over here. As you can see, a lot of hangars. We got TBM 930 over there. We got this guy over here that's going to taxi us out. I believe that's a not an Arrow. That's a Piper. Could be a Piper Warrior 2. Could be a Warrior 2. What else we got here? we got a bunch of planes over here. We got Skyhawk, bunch of Skyhawks. We got Bombardier over here. 2 Bombardiers over there. So we got another Cessna over here. Probably a Skyhawk. Definitely a Skyhawk. And then, of course, we got our Piper SENECA 5 airplane as well. And I love this livery. It's beautiful. This airplane is beautiful. The attention to detail. Carinato did a great job. I like this plane because I'm getting used to it. I'm really getting used to this plane. And look, you can even see the reflection right here, even on the light on the glass. Wonderful attention to detail. Wonderful. They even have a walkway for you. This is actually where you walk. It's a matte finish, matte over here. Excuse me, to walk and go up to the door. You basically step over here. You walk up, and you open the door. Very nicely detailed plane. I just want to show you how beautiful this plane is. And it's a big airplane. This is a pretty big airplane. You can put like five people, 5 passengers, including you, the pilot. So 6 people, total of 6 people are stored into this airplane. So that's not bad. 6 of you can go somewhere, travel in Alaska or whatever. But it's a very nice airplane. This is a real-time weather, clear skies. Twin engine, 850 horsepower right here. You can also store a bunch of stuff here. There's a compartment here. You can open this, put your luggages and stuff like that. People ask me, what is this for? This right here, from what I understand, is for you to align with the landing strip. So that way you're not swerving left and right, so you can calibrate your landing. That's what this is, according to what I was told. Anyway, let's go inside the airplane. And let's turn on the switches and let's start the cold start. The reason I like this plane is because I'm getting very familiar with this plane. And that's what you do, guys. That's what everyone should do, is stick to one plane. Don't switch back and forth between different planes. A lot of people are making a mistake where they're switching between one plane to another. You don't want to do that. That's how you're going to crash. That's how you're going to lose control. That's how you're going to stall. It's hard for you to remember every and each plane and how to do it and how to properly operate it. So just stick to the plane that you are familiar with. That's what I would suggest. So the first thing we want to do, obviously, as always, is turn on our fuel. Your fuel tank, it's right here, right next to the trim. You got the fuel tank. This is your heat fan, your defrost fan, and you also have the icing right here for your engines and for your windshield. This is if there's a lot of icing above the clouds, you can use this. Very useful, so you don't have any frost bites on your windows. So this is your fuel tank. You have to turn the right engine fuel tank on, which is right over here. You see the arrow pointing out. It's your right engine. And then this is your left engine. So we'll turn it on for the right engine, which is right over here. And then we're going to turn it on for the left engine, which is right over here. That's your fuel, the fuel tank. So that way you can get the fuel pump, the fuel intake, to get the engine to start. And then you use these mixtures over here, like this lever right here, right? This lever, these 2 red ones are your fuel mixtures. You wanna, it's like a fuel injection. You wanna move this up for the left engine when you turn it on, and then the one on the right for the right engine when you turn it on. And this is your prop right here, and this is your throttle to accelerate the RPM. Okay, and this right here, a lot of people ask, what is this? This is basically your gauges for the left engine, to see your RPM, to see your pressure, to see your oil, to see what's the temperature on the engine, and how badly you're burning that oil. This is your left side and your right side engine. Left side and the right side engine. Gauges. Okay. And this right here, this is very simple. This center part right here, this is your battery compartment. You got your left alternator and you got your right alternator, and then you got a battery master switch. So this is your battery console. This right here on the left, this is your engine. This is how you boot up and start up the engine. Okay, but you have to turn on the fuel tank before you do this, both left and right fuel tank. And then right here, this is your right engine right here. And then over here, this is your navigational lights, landing lights, you know, strobe lights, stuff like that. And this is right here is for you to turn on the lights overhead for the panel so you can see. So that's pretty much what that is. So without any further ado, now that we got the fuel tank turned on, left and right, let's go ahead and let's turn on the battery. Because you cannot start the engine without the battery, just like you cannot start the car without the battery. So you need to turn on the left alternator. Before you turn on the battery, this is a very important part. Before you turn on the battery, you got to turn on the left alternator, and then you got to turn on the right alternator. Okay, otherwise your battery is gonna die off. Okay, when you do that, then you go ahead and turn on the battery master right here. And now the battery's turning on. So what's the next step? The next step is to turn on your radio master so you can turn up these devices. So you turn on your radio, turn on your altimeter, which is right here. Turn on your Garmin altimeter. Keep it on the VFR or ident, depending on what you have chosen, what your flight plan is, and then turn on the navigation right here, altimeter, and this is your Bendix King radar system. Put it through the tests, make sure that it's working. This is a test. Turn on the brightness a little bit to brighten it up, and then leave it on. So if there's any like severe weather coming up, you will see it right here on this panel. Now that you have your batteries turned on and your alternator, what's the next step? The next step is to make sure that both your red and left and right lever here on the fuel mixture is put all the way down. You want to make sure that your left and right red levers are put way down, that they're turned all the way down. Okay, this is the important part. So what we want to do next is, since we have the right red lever pushed all the way down, we want to go ahead and turn on our right fuel pump, right engine mag, and then click right engine start, and then pull the right red lever. Okay, and now you pull it, and now you got that. See that fuel injection kicking in? That fuel injection, now you got the right engine started. So you keep it like that. So the next step is obviously the same thing that we did for the right engine. Okay, so we go to the left side over here, turn the left fuel pump, left engine mag, both of them, and then we do the same thing. Press left engine start, and then we push that left red lever, and now you got that fuel injection, now you got that engine running. Okay, so you're pretty much right now you're all set. You got your engine roaring, you got your radio, everything's turned on. What's the next step? Now the next step is obviously for you to communicate and contact air traffic control, which is the ATC. So you want to communicate with them, and you want to make sure that you want to taxi out. You already got your VFR map, okay? And we're going to turn on to VFR right over here, as a matter of fact. There we go. So you want to go ahead and contact the ATC, which would be tune on the ground 121.900. This is the frequency for the air traffic control. Now you want to taxi. You want to choose a request taxi in a remain pattern, because you already got a flight plan, right? So you already load up the flight plan. So they already have that in the database. They know exactly what your flight plan is. So all you got to do is just request a taxi. This means that they need to check to make sure that the runway is clear, that no one is landing or taking off at the same time that you are requesting a taxi. Sometimes there might be a delay in real life, pilots told me. Sometimes you might have to wait till the runway is cleared, and then you can continue your taxi. Taxi means driving out to the runway, to that specific runway that it's cleared for you to take off. So you click request taxi in remain pattern, and you will see a blue line that's going to show you where to go.
Ground MRFOU or KAY 19er 79er heavy with Edna request taxi for takeoff, touch and go.
Okay, so we are granted.
79er heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 14 left using taxiway Quebec Papa Mike Golf cross runway 22 Golf cross runway 9er Foxtrot Alpha.
So Foxtrot Alpha runway 22. That's where we're gonna go. So I'm gonna acknowledge the taxi. I already did.
Hold short runway 14 left using taxiway Quebec Papa Mike Golf cross runway 22 Golf cross runway 9er Foxtrot Alpha MRFOU RKAY 19er 79er heavy.
You see, we're ready to go. I'm gonna make a little spin around here and then go out. So we are ready to go. We got our taxi acknowledged and we got our taxi granted with our request. So we're gonna go to runway 22. Okay. People ask me, why don't I do VATSIM? VATSIM, it's a bit of a, it's something that it's too much of a hassle for me right now, because you have to learn all the acronyms. You have to learn, you know, certain code words that you have to implement. You cannot just say whatever you want to say. Everything has to be in the code words. Just like in a law enforcement, just like in the military, everything's done with the code words, you know. So you have to learn that. You have to study that before you can actually jump onto the VATSIM, you know. But that's something I might do in the future. First I have to study that, and then once I'm ready, then I can go ahead and do it. But anyway, let's go. Let's do this, fellas. Okay.
We're 4K19er 79er heavy continue taxi.
He was telling me to have a caution because of other airplanes that might be around. Because there's a lot of traffic, it seems. Well, I don't blame it because it's beautiful. Beautiful day. Oh, let's hold a position. Let me see. I think we're good. I guess they just want me to be cautious because of so much traffic. But sometimes you have to hold a position depending on how bad the traffic is. You know, you might have other airplanes landing on that runway 22. You might have others taking off from that runway 22. See, now it says continue taxi. I'm good to go.
Roger, MRFOU RKAY 19er 79er heavy.
I want to be careful here, not to overspeed. on this runway. I always like to stop here, you know, and look around, you know, just in case, man. You know, even though I know the traffic control will let me know, but still, there might be a car moving down or something, like a fuel truck. Like, see, like a fuel truck over here. So I would suggest that you guys stick with one plane and learn that plane. Don't make a mistake I made switching between different types of airplanes, you know, because you want to stick with the plane that you are very. Because I've seen people switch between, you know, 747 and 787 and 832. You're not doing yourself any favor if you do that, honestly. With this simulator, you need to stick with just one airplane, and you need to focus on just that one airplane. Don't switch between all these different types of airplanes, because you're not going to do yourself a favor if you do that. The best thing to do is focus on that one airplane and learn the ins and outs of that airplane. Study it, you know, it's not a big deal. What I can learn, you can learn. What one person can do, you can do. You just have to focus and you have to study it. And eventually, when you get enough experience, you'll be ready to go, you know. Everything has to go by certain step levels, you know. You cannot jump hoops and move up. Everything has to go through the entry level. Now, my only complaint yesterday was the lack of documentation, the lack of manual that the Coronado, like there was no manual, you know. And granted, I can go and research and learn, you know, about this airplane, go to the internet and research, but why should I have to do that, right? If you're already paying for an airplane $30, for $30 you would think that they would include the manual. And is it a big deal for them to include the manual? I don't know. Apparently it is. But I'm simply saying in the future they should include the manual, so that way you can learn ins and outs of this airplane. You can learn the blueprint of this airplane. You know, a lot of people agree with me. It's true. Every product you buy, there's a manual. Even a flight stick controller has a manual. You know, just Flight Sim on the Turbo Aero has a huge manual for you to read. So you can learn a history of the Turbo Aero since 1976. PMDG has the huge manual for you to download and read about the Douglas DC-6 and why that plane was so sophisticated back in 1949 and throughout 50s. Why it's such a complex airplane, but back then was technologically advanced. And why do you need a flight engineer to operate that plane? All of these things, right? So that was my only complaint yesterday was, hey, you know, include a manual, you know. And I think Coronado got butthurt a little bit, but that's fine, you know. I don't care. I was telling them the truth. I mean, I paid for their product. It's not like they gave me this for free. I paid for it. I have every right to complain, you know. If you pay for something, that's their old custom saying. You have a right to complain because you paid for it. Because their job is to satisfy the customer. Their job is to sell, right? My job is to buy it, but I should complain about the lack of manual. All right, guys, I think we're ready.
Tower MRFOURKAY1979er heavy ready at runway 14 left touch and go.
We're 4K1979er heavy altimeter 30.005 wind 134 at 7.
All right, we got to turn around.
Cleared for takeoff runway 14 left.
Okay, let's make a right turn.
Cleared for takeoff runway 14 left MRFOURKAY19er heavy.
It's this runway right here. Runway 22. And guys, we're ready to go. We are all ready to go. I just need to position myself over here, and we're gonna rock and roll. We're gonna rock and roll. Rock and roll. This is gonna be a good flight, man. We're flying from a Grant County, Washington, all the way to Prince George. So we'll get a nice, beautiful view of Washington State and British Columbia. I call this a Sasquatch Alley. You know, we have Rocky Mountains on the right side over here, and a little bit on the left side. Mainly on the right side, right here, Rocky Mountains. It's gonna be a beautiful flight over here that will take us to Prince George, British Columbia. So this flight has been done many times, you know. Grant County, Washington State, which is just east of Seattle, right here, and then takes you all the way up to Prince George. So the flight's gonna be about an hour, possibly an hour, maybe 15 minutes, you know, depending how fast I'm accelerating. Probably like an hour, something like that. An hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so let's go, gentlemen. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's keep this over here. Turn on the GPS tracking. That looks good. And here we go, my fellas. Let's go. Hold on. There's one more thing I want to do. The trimmer. This is the important part. So that way we can accelerate to a higher altitude a little bit. Okay, maybe 12,000 feet. 12,000 feet. This is the airspeed. We'll go up to 8,000 feet. That's fine. Okay, sorry about that. Just something I had to do, you know, really quick. Vertical speed. Hold on, let me adjust the vertical speed here a little bit. I think it's, we'll adjust it through the prop and the mixture and the RPM here. We'll turn on the ice just in case there's some, you know, this is your pit stall warning, just in case we encounter some clouds over there, some nasty clouds or something. It shouldn't be, according to the weather report. We should be all clear, but just in case. Just in case. So here we go, fellas. Let's go. Listen to that engine. Oh my Lord. Now, since we have it trimmed, I won't even have to pull it out because it's going to pull out by itself. Because we got that trim all the way up, nose up. There we go. Gear up. First we're going to climb up like maybe 8,000 feet. We'll stay at the 8,000 feet, and then we're going to make that left turn and continue to our destination. It should be a good flight. You always want to make sure you climb that altitude first. You guys can tell I've been studying the aerodynamics. I've been talking to some pilots. I've been talking to John Travolta. Yes, John Travolta. I'm just kidding. I didn't talk to John Travolta. Alright, we can turn now left, slightly to the left. Put a GoPro camera here. Slightly to the left. Like right over here. Like that. We have a nice view. There we go. There we go, my friends. So this is Grant County, Washington State. Clear skies, man. Beautiful. Beautiful weather, man. Sunday, beautiful weather out there in Washington State. We'll find out what the weather is like in British Columbia. But I think they got a lot of heat wave, man. A lot of hot temperature out there. Because they're not used to the hot temperature like that, you know what I mean? Like 120 degrees, 110 degrees. When was the last time that happened, right? To have that kind of high temperature. Here we go, fellas. Ladies. Gentlemen. Gentlemen. Do we have any gentlemen? You know, I gotta laugh. You know, a lot of people think if you wear a suit that you're a gentleman. No. Anybody can wear a suit. A lowlife can wear a suit, but he's still a lowlife, right? A criminal can wear a suit, but he's still a criminal. A scam artist, con artist can wear a suit, but he's still a scam and con artist. Gentleman is not how you dress. Gentleman is how you treat other people. That's what gentleman means. And of course, gentleman's gonna dress nice. He's not gonna look like a, you know, a bum. But gentleman means how you treat other people. A lot of people like to mix that up. And other people like to mix up the simps with gentlemen. No. If you are a simp, then you are a loyal slave. You are a loyal, obedient slave to that person. And you are giving money to that person. You're not a gentleman. You know, people got to stop mixing up these, you know, meanings. We have to respect the meaning of the word gentleman. You know, we shouldn't mix it up. And we shouldn't get it confused. I'm just letting you know how it is. I'm just giving you the facts, the truth. You know, it might sound hilarious to you, but that's the fact.
Clear touch and go left traffic runway 14 left.
Okay, let's check out the airplane on the outside a little bit.
14 left MRFO URKA by 1979er heavy. Tower MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy cancel landing intention.
For 4K 19er 79er heavy, your cancellation is received.
I don't know why they asked me to. I'm gonna request to fly following.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy is type 6 miles northeast of Grant County 12,200 feet.
Okay, we're gonna go up to 12,000 feet. 12,000 feet.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy, Seattle Center. Squawk 1772.
Copy that. Acknowledge that. Squawk 72.
1772 MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy, radar contact 7 miles northeast of Grant County 12,400 feet. Altimeter 30.05.
MRFO URKA
I think
by
my
19er 79er.
co-pilot is acknowledging all of that. I don't have to acknowledge it. Let me request IFR clearance for the instrument FP flight plan, which is the IFR flight plan, which is right over here. This is my IFR flight plan right here.
Request IFR to Prince George, ready to copy.
Thank you.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy is cleared to Prince George Airport as filed.
Yes, thank you.
Squawk 1772.
Squawk 1772, copy that. Clear for the Prince George.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy cleared to Prince George Airport as filed. Squawk 1772.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy, read back correct. Radar contact 14,000 feet.
Wow, they want me to go to 14,000 feet? All right.
05, turn left heading 310, descend and maintain 12,000 feet.
All right, I guess 12,000 feet. I got you.
Turn left heading 310 descent and maintain 12,000 feet MRFO URKA wide 19er 79er heavy.
All right, we're going to go to 12,000 feet. I'm going to request cruising altitude increase. I want to go a little bit higher because I do see some mountains over there. By 1,000 feet.
Seattle Center MRFO
We'll go up to
URKA
13,000
by
feet.
19er 79er
13,000 feet's perfect.
Request 13,000 feet.
MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy, descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Descend and maintain 13,000 feet MRFO URKA by 19er 79er heavy.
So we got 417 nautical miles till we reach our destination. And this is live weather, I believe. Let me see. It is live weather. It looks very nice outside. All right, let's go down to 13,000 feet. All right, he wants me to acknowledge. Okay.
Seattle Center MRFO URKA Y19er 79er heavy requesting vector to next waypoint.
MRFO URKA Y19er 79er heavy turn left heading tree 10.
Turn left heading tree 10 MRFO URKA Y19er 79er heavy.
We'll keep it like this. We'll stay at this altitude, 13,000 feet. That's fine. 13,000 feet's good. Get a nice view of the Washington State. Beautiful, beautiful. Clear skies, man. Just perfect.
MRFO URKA Y19er 79er heavy, please expedite your descent 13,000 feet.
$13,000 feet, perfect. This will give us a really nice view. Really nice view, man, of the Washington State and British Columbia. Look at that, man. It's beautiful. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, man, clear skies ahead. Beautiful weather in Washington State. And also beautiful weather, most likely in British Columbia as well. But we don't know. We got 400 something nautical miles till we get to Prince George, which is British Columbia. It's named after the Prince George. There's a lot of history there. You know, British Empire has been in every part of the world, man. So did Spaniards and French. Mainly, and when you think about it, it really was English, Spanish, and French. English, Spanish, and French. Back then, I mean, they were roaming all over the world, man. That's why you see a lot of French names. That's why you see a lot of Spanish names. That's why you see a lot of British names. Because of that whole conquest of the world, you know. I love history, man. I love reading that kind of stuff, man. Read books every day, man. You learn. It's good to learn, man. It's good to know all the stuff, you know. So you have a better understanding of the history, you know, correct history on what happened, you know. You 9 days till I am this on my Series S. Oh, Bluter Heat, man. Can't wait. I personally cannot wait. The person that cannot wait, it's me. Dude, I'm so excited about this thing. just to see, just to see how it feels, flying on the Series S and Series X, and also to see like how both Series X and Series S compare to each other. Oh yeah, the Dutch. Well, don't forget the Vikings. The Vikings been roaming around as well. And of course you had Portuguese along with the Spaniards, but they had their own conflicts, Portuguese and Spanish. That's why Brazil, everyone's speaking Portuguese, for that reason. And that's why in Haiti, everyone speaks French, which is a Creole French, Ça passe namboulé, tout est prêt, right? Which is French, it's a Creole French. But British have really, British have been all over the world, man. British have really, have been everywhere. They have been everywhere, pretty much. The British Empire. America is just another version of British Empire. United States of America is it's the offspring of British Empire. It's really what it is, guys. Because our forefathers were mainly British, but it's the offspring, of the British Empire. I like to read, I like reading books, man. On my free time, whenever I have a free time, I read. Yeah, man, if you got a good 4K TV, this is going to look amazing. This is going to look great on your 4K television. If you got like a really good 4K television. If you happen to have OLED, then yeah, you're in heaven, bro. With that OLED and Dolby Vision support, man, need I say more? Well, of course, we didn't want to be part of the British Empire. We wanted to be independent, We declared the independence from British, right? A lot of people forget that the Independence Day, 1776, was really a declaration of independence from British. So we can create our own states, our own republics, 16 republics, or they call it 16 province. And then later on, we expanded our, country into more states and all that. But, there is that nasty spot on how we got there, and the nasty spot that we have, that stain, if you will, that's on the United States of America, that nasty stain. It's the in that process of us, creating this country, expanding to the western frontier. In that process, we also killed a lot of Native Americans. That's something that has to be acknowledged. I don't know how much they're teaching that in a high school, but we did commit that genocide, if you will. We killed a lot of Native Americans to conquest that western frontier. A lot of Apaches, different tribes, that has to be acknowledged. Yes, I love this country, I love it, but at the same time, we have to stay true to the facts of our history. That's that stain. It's always going to be there, Yeah, that stain has to be acknowledged. No country is perfect. Spaniard did a lot of crazy shit. Spanish conquest did a lot of killings and murder. French have done a lot of killings and murder. And British, oh my God. British, it's like, dude, through the roof. Through the roof. Okay? Not to mention the Templars and Crusaders and other things. It's through the goddamn roof, man. But a lot of historians, they're trying to overlook that. A lot of historians are trying to overlook that because it's a nasty stain that sits there. But that's a fact. It's a fact. It's a historical fact. And if it's like Oliver Stone says, Oliver Stone is a very smart guy. He says, I love my country, but every other country has to stay true to the facts of the history. We cannot ignore the facts. Then we are covering up the history. Then we are cooking up the history. Just like a Serbian country. And I get nothing against Serbian people. I love Serbian people. And I'm glad that they have changed. I'm glad that they have evolved from 1990s and they got different mindset now. They're more, they're different now. Serbia is different now. It's not what it used to be. But the Serbia has to acknowledge, they have to acknowledge what happened in 1993 Srebrenica, in Bosnia. They have to acknowledge the genocide that happened under the hand of Slobodan Milosevic. They have to acknowledge that. They have to acknowledge what happened. Just like the Germans and Nazi Germans, they have to, the Germany has to acknowledge that Holocaust that has happened. 6 million Jews that they killed. These are the facts, guys. We cannot, just like Turkish Empire has to acknowledge how many Armenians they killed in a genocide that they committed against Armenians. The Turkish government has to acknowledge that genocide of Armenians. Guys, no country is clean. Russia, it's also committed a lot of genocides in the past, okay? But is Vladimir Putin's going to talk about that? No, he doesn't want to talk about that because it's a big stain on Soviet and Russia. No country is perfect. No country is perfect. But we have to stay true to the facts. All right? That's how we evolve as a country. That's how we move forward as people, as human beings. It's by acknowledging what happened and how can we move forward now that we learned from the history. If we never learn from history, guys, we are doomed to repeat it. And sadly, we're not learning anything from history. We're still repeating the same thing. Red versus blue, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, I'm with this group, I'm with that group, I'm with this tribe, I'm with that tribe. A bunch of tribes again. We're going back to tribalism. But we haven't learned anything from the history. The tribalism is what destroyed the empires. The tribalism is what committed all these atrocities and killings. So we're going backwards, like the Depeche Mode song. We're going backwards. We're not going forward. We're really going backwards because we're not learning from history. We're not learning what has caused the same thing that is happening now. And that's the problem. This is why every generation has to learn correct history. This is what I want my 2 nieces and a nephew to learn. I want them to learn correct history. And that's what they should learn. And thanks to the internet, the access of internet, they can learn. They can learn the correct history. But again, looking at the influences out there and the wrong influences that we have, most likely it's not going to happen because of the culture influences, this new pop culture, whatever you want to call it, this new woke culture. I don't understand it. I really don't. Like, I'm trying to get into the mindset of this new culture that we're living in, and I don't understand it quite well. I really don't. And I don't even know. I don't think this generation knows what they want. Honestly, I think they're confused. To be honest with you, I think they're confused. That's why they're not happy. That's why they're so they're confused. They don't know what they want. Well, what should you want? You should want a good future. You should want a future that is not going to escalate to some kind of a war, that's not going to escalate to some kind of a hatred. You want the future that's not going to escalate to some kind of a divisions. You don't want that. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in that kind of future. Who would want to live in that kind of future? But I don't think this generation knows what they want. And it's probably because they don't fully understand the history, the correct history of what has happened in the past. Because they're all on the Twitch. They're all on the Twitch looking at the bikini hot tub girls, and giving them, $300, $400, $800, thousands of dollars, just wasting that money, pissing that money away, simping that money away. I don't understand that either. There's a lot of stuff about this generation that is just in this culture, this new woke, whatever you want to call it. I just don't understand it. It's very strange to me, but it's just me. Yeah, Bluter. Now again, I blame Milosevic for that. He was a dictator. He was the leader. I don't blame Serbian people. We cannot, blame every German to what happened. We blame those who committed atrocities. That's why we have war crimes. Okay, and that's why they're taken to the to Hague to be, judged and sentenced. That's why we established the war crimes after the World War II. It's just about recognizing what happened in Srebrenica in 2003. We all have to recognize that. There's plenty of evidence of mass graves. It's been documented by UN. It's been documented by so many different international organizations. It's been documented by NATO. And of course, it's been documented by United States Army, United States military when they came in there, stationed in Tuzla. Obviously, there's been so many mass graves they found. These are the facts, and it cannot be overlooked. Bikini girls are great. I love see them. Well, I love to see them. I like to see them for free, but I definitely would not pay for it. How's that?
Heavy, please expedite your descent 13,000 feet.
Well, that's it, man. That's what it's all about, Blotterhead. It's about learning from the past and moving on. We cannot change the past, and I will put the blame to Milosevic. He was the murderous, bloodthirsty murderer, dictator, just like we blame Hitler for what he did. I'm not blaming the Serbian people. I just want Serbian people to recognize on what happened, and right now they're not doing that because of the leadership that they have in their governments, and that's not good. They shouldn't be living in that kind of past. They need to learn from what happened in 1990s, and they need to learn that, hey, this war never benefits anybody. This guy was a dictator, was bloodthirsty. He wanted to do an ethnic cleansing from Bosnian Muslims. He wanted to create a Orthodox Christian Balkan region. And you cannot have that. The Balkan region has always been a mixture of different culture, different ethnic backgrounds. And this is why the West has stepped in. You know, back then, Bill Clinton, unanimous. I mean, huge across the board, man. It didn't even take long. Both Republicans and Democrats voted on this resolution to send the troops to Bosnia, United States of America, and the Congress. They have, like, with huge votes. Bob Dole back then was majority leader. Bob Dole, like across the board, both Democrats and Republicans voted, send as many troops as you need, send them over there as a peacekeeping force. Remember, when they sent the I-4 U.S. military troops, they were part of NATO, but their job there was to keep peace. They were not active duty. I mean, they were prepared to fight if they need to fight, and, you know, they would use any means necessary of their, you know, disposal of the military that the U.S. military has. But their job there was to build the country, to keep it stable, to inject democracy there, so people can start living and keep peace. And I think they achieved that. You know, we got to give credit to what you think about Bill Clinton. You know, I got to give him a credit for fixing that region there, from Bosnia to Kosovo. He really did, and he deserves the credit there. The credit needs to go where it's due. Also, Bob Dole, let's not forget Bob Dole from Republican Party. He deserves the credit because he was very active to make sure that that war and bloodshed stops there. So we have to be fair. We got to give the credit when the credit is due, guys. You know, regardless of what you think about that person, regardless of your opinions of that person, you know, credit needs to go where credit is due. You know, again, regardless of what your opinions are about him now and what he might have done and this and that, I'm not talking about it. That's a whole different subject. I'm talking about what he did in 1990s during that war. So I'm giving him credit for that. And I'm also giving Bob Dole, he passed away, by the way, Bob Dole, giving him credit for that as well.
Heavy, please expedite your descent 13,000 feet.
Look at this British Columbia, man. It's beautiful. We got 326 nautical miles. Okay, we need to trim this airplane a little bit. We need to trim it proper. Proper 12 trim. Proper 12. Proper 12.
Heavy contact Vancouver Center on 133.5.
Proper 12 trim.
133.5 MRFO URKAY 1979er heavy. Vancouver Center MRFO URKAY 1979er heavy is at flight level 195 descending 13,000 feet. 1979er heavy Vancouver Center, continue as planned.
Well, they all have their, listen, man, they all have their good times and their bad times, you know. But I like to give credit where the credit is due. Like I said, I don't want to get into politics of what he has done in the past 20 years, but I'm talking about that specific, 1997, 1995 year to what he has achieved in Balkan region, and he brought the peace there, and he rebuilt that Balkan region. He rebuilt both countries, all three of them actually, Croatia, Bosnia, and Serbia. He established a. Actually, we got to give credit to Russia as well. Wait a minute, because Russia was involved as well. Imagine that. This has never happened before. This is before Putin, way before Putin came in, where Russia stepped in, and we had America. How beautiful is that? United States of America and Russia alongside, keeping the peace and rebuilding that country. You see what can happen, guys, when we find a common ground, when we find that solution for a common ground. You see what can happen. Great things can happen. Rebuilding can happen. Building the new futures, a better tomorrow, better economy, better education, right? These things happen when we work together, man. These things happen when we work together. And I miss those days, I'll tell you that. Because Russia was there too, I remember. They were working with there were more U.S. military there, or I'm trying to say majority was the U.S. military, but we did have some Russians military there working alongside with the U.S. military, and that's with NATO. Wesley Clark was the commander of their operation, I-4, was it? No, I-4. Wesley Clark. We got to give credit to Wesley Clark. He did a great job. I got to give credit where credit's due, man. Listen, like I said, we have to be fair. If we're going to talk about history, we got to talk about the facts. Facts. And I think that's the problem with today's journalism, with today's mainstream media, is they don't like to stick to facts. They only stick to facts that fits their narrative or their agenda. Today, mainstream media, it's running the agenda, right? It's running their narrative of agenda, and that's not good. That's not good. And I think that's why we're in the problem right now. That's why we're in this mess, because they're running an agenda that fits their narrative, and that's not good. That creates divisions. Again, we're going backwards. We're going reverse. We're going back to zero from where we started. And that's what I want people to realize. That's what I want the younger people to realize is we got to learn from history, so that way we don't end up back to zero and learn all over again and repeat the history all over again. History has repeated itself, guys. If you read the books, if you read the history, it has repeated itself many times. And it can happen again. It can happen again. I am going to destroy you. I like him. I like, what's his name? I'm going to destroy you. I don't care if he lives or die. He's good as dead. I'm much stronger. Even Drago, man, he was so great. Dolph Lundgren, man, played him so perfectly. I'm going to destroy
Climb
him.
and maintain 13,000 feet. MRFO URKAY 1979er heavy.
Let's not forget Red Heat, man. Let's not forget Red Heat. Danko Police Officer Danko from Soviet Union. Red Heat, man, with James Belushi, John Belushi's brother. He also was famous for that movie K9, which I love that movie. So let's not forget, Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Belushi in Red Heat. That was great, man. That movie was great. I love that movie, Red Heat, man. I really do. I think that's the most underrated movie. A lot of people forget that Lawrence Fishburne was in that movie. People say, no, Lawrence Fishburne was not in it. Yes, he was, but he was younger back then. He looked different back then, But Lawrence Fishburne was in that movie. I think he was like Eternal Affairs agent or something. Like he was from the Eternal Affairs department or something. And he didn't like that, Russian police is coming here, roaming Chicago and all that. You guys remember that movie, right? You guys, you know the movie I'm talking about? Red Heat. Red Heat was awesome, dude. Well, we are going backwards, but let's hope. Let's hope that we don't. Let's hope that we learn from that song, right? People should listen to some of these songs as a message, I think Dave sent a message on the that song. I look at that song. It is a cool song. It sounds great. Lyrics are awesome. I enjoy it. A lot of remixes of that song, but it's important to remember the message in that song. Like, hey, what are we doing? We're going backwards, man. We haven't learned nothing. I guess that's the message that Dave it's sending in that song. Now, there's no more Depeche Mode. He's got a different band, Dave. But are they going to come back? I don't know. Or did they come back again? I don't know. I know he had like a experimental band or something that he was working on. I don't know if they're going to come back. I don't know. They might come back. I don't know. I haven't really kept up to date with Depeche Mode, so I don't know. But Depeche Mode's been around, man, forever. They've been tight together since 1980s, man. For 30 years, bro. That band's been tight and very tight and inseparable for 30 years, man. For 30 years, that band has. Yeah, I remember Raw Deal. Raw Deal was good too. I like the ending of the movie with that Rolling Stone track. That was great. The satisfaction. Can get enough satisfaction. That was great, man. He was driving some kind of convertible car with a leather jacket like a Terminator, dude. He purposely put that leather jacket like a Terminator with a Uzi shooting around and shit like that. Dude, Arnold was such a badass, bro. His movies are timeless, man. Like, really, I mean, he created movies that are like forever. Seriously. Forever. Like, his movies are forever. You can never get tired of watching those movies. They're so good, man. And of course, Predator is like one of my all-time favorites, Predator is like fucking A, man. Predator. The Running Man was great too. Total Recall. I mean, come on, man. The list goes on and on and on. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, True Lies. True Lies was hilarious, man. I like when, what's his name? Tom Arnold. It's telling him that his wife, Jamie Lee Curtis, is screwing around with this one guy in the office. Or some guy who's selling the car or something. And then he breaks the window right in front of, what you call it, Tom Arnold. He goes like, "Stop cheering me out! Stop cheering me up." You know, basically, like, stop messing with me. And he broke the window. That was a good movie, man. And they blew up, and of course, James Cameron. You know, James Cameron's got to do shit for real. He blew up the Key West. One of the bridges, one of the bridgeways on the Key West. He blew it up for real. No, that was blown up for real. The gap is still there, by the way, because they were not using that. Did they rebuild it? I don't know. Maybe the gap is still there. I don't know. Maybe they rebuilt it. I don't know. But I know he blew up that bridge in 1993 on the Key West. The Last Action Hero was great. The Last Action Hero was directed by the same guy who did The Predator, John McTiernan. John McTiernan, yet another film director that's underrated. John McTiernan directed a lot of movies, man. One of the famous one that you guys might remember from John McTiernan is Die Hard with Bruce Willis, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, which I considered a true sequel. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard 2 I didn't care about. And of course he did The Hunt for the Red October with Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin. The Hunt for the Red October. He also did The Last Action Hero. 13 Warrior, guys, with Omar Sharif and Antonio Banderas. Guys, 13 Warrior, if you haven't seen the 13 Warrior, go watch that movie. That blonde guy from the Die Hard was in that movie as well. If you guys haven't seen the 13 Warrior, go see it, man. 13 Warrior, go buy it. It's a great movie. So John McTiernan is a great director, but unfortunately, he has been canceled by Hollywood because he got arrested and he did some time in jail. I don't know what the reason was. I don't even know if it's even true. Maybe he was convicted wrongfully. I don't know. But apparently he was arrested. He spent some time in jail, and because of that, some kind of fraud or something. I don't know. I don't know all the details, but he was arrested. He was in jail, and because of that, they canceled him. But anyway, I'm not sure what happened to him now, you know. What is he doing now? Just like Paul Verhoeven. Paul Verhoeven just decided not to be part of the Hollywood anymore. He left Hollywood after Showgirls. No, after Hollow Man, I'm sorry. He did that movie with Kevin Bacon, and that was his last Hollywood movie. The Hollow Man, The Invisible Man. And he said, man, I'm tired of Hollywood. They want me to make movies PG-13. They want me to do this. They want me to do that. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. So he left Hollywood in 2001, I think, or 2000. He left Hollywood in 2000. Dutch filmmaker Paul Verhoeven, who also directed, obviously, the RoboCop, the most famous RoboCop movie, man. Starship Troopers, Basic Instinct. The list goes on and on, man. He did a lot of movies. Total Recall. Hey, what's up, Overexposure? How you doing, man? So this is what I call the most underrated directors, film directors, you know. What are the overrated directors? Overrated, it's Martin Scorsese. He's way too overrated. Not that I don't like him. Sure, he made some great movies, but he's way too overrated. Martin Scorsese, way too overrated. And then you got Quentin Tarantino, way too overrated. And I don't like that. I'm not into that crap, you know. I feel that these other directors are way too underrated. When you look at, you know, like Paul Verhoeven, when you look at John McTiernan, when you look at even Walter Hill. We talked about Red Heat, that was Walter Hill. 48 Hours, another 48 Hours, that was Walter Hill. Way too underrated. There's a lot of underrated directors out there who never get the credit. They never got the credit that they deserve. And they made some very iconic movies. Some very timeless, iconic movies. And that's what sucks about Hollywood right now. That whole cancel culture. If you don't think like we think, if you don't drink the same Kool-Aid we drink, then you get canceled. That's basically how Hollywood works right now. If you don't drink my Kool-Aid, you canceled. You know, if your shit doesn't smell like my shit, you're getting canceled. You know, it's just, it's really, it's pathetic and it's rotten. I don't like it. Yeah, Todd Phillips. I like Todd Phillips. It was amazing what Todd Phillips did. And the only reason that movie happened, it's because of the new CEO of Warner Brothers. Because the previous CEO wouldn't want to hear it. He says, we're not going to make that movie. That movie promotes violence, promotes the following, cult following. We don't want that. But in fact, that movie is not promoting cult following. It is not promoting violence. What that movie is doing, it's showing us how fragile our mental state really is. And if we're not careful enough, us as society, we can turn a good person into a monster, right? A good person into a monster. How does that happen? That happens by rejection. If you reject a good person, if you constantly mock a good person, and if that person starts feeling that he doesn't belong anywhere, then he's gonna find a way to become something else. And what's the name of the character? I forgot the name of the character. Ralph or something, I don't know. What happened to him was reflection of society. Society created him, you know, and he felt rejected by everyone, even his father, who happened to be a mayor, the Joker. And it really says a lot about us as society, how we treat other people. That movie is really deep. What Todd was talking about, it's much deeper than just a Joker as a Joker comic book character. It was really about, here's this guy who just wants to be a comedian, who just wants to be accepted with society, but he's being mocked because of his disability, his health disabilities that he has, and is being mocked based on how he talks and how he walks, how he looks. He's being rejected constantly, and that builds up, you know. And it's not so much the mental state, it's really about how society treats people. If we as society treat people like that, we're going to create some monsters. We're going to create some lone wolf monsters. And I think we have seen that. All these mass shootings, all these guys out there shooting people. What do you think that's all about? Where do you think that trigger comes from? You know, yes, it's easy to label these guys as mass shooters and monsters. It's easy to label them as monsters, right? Right? This is a monster. They committed these atrocities. But what triggered them to become a monster? After all these years. After all these years, they never hurt a fly. They never hurt anyone. After all these years. Not even a traffic ticket. But now all of a sudden something happened. So what triggered that? That's what we need to consider, and that's what we need to look into. But sadly, due to our selfish society and our selfish selves, and let's be honest, a lot of selfish people out there in our society, you know. Nobody wants to help out. Nobody wants to step up. Everybody's just looking out for their own selfish selves. Everybody wants stuff for free. Everybody's using everybody. Nobody wants to help another person. They're just looking for their interest, their selfish self-interest. That's what's creating the mirror of these monsters that pop once in a while. You know, that's my theory on that. That's my observation of that. And I think Todd Phillips, as a film director, was trying to inject that observation. Like, hey guys, we gotta treat ourselves better. Because we're gonna be living in a brave new world, creating these monsters. Anyone is capable of violence. I don't care if you were the nicest guy, all A grade students, whatever, A plus student, went to college and all this and all that. I don't care. Everyone's capable of doing the unthinkable. But we need to ask ourselves, what triggered? What's the trigger? What's the source? There has to be some kind of a source trigger. No happy person is going to do the unthinkable. No happy state of mind is going to do that. And we barely ever talk about this. This is barely ever talked about, man. It's just swiped under the rug. They just swipe it under the rug. They just, oh, it's another shooting, you know, another mass shooting. Move on. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. Moving on. How's today's weather?
132.35 for MRFO-URKAY-1979er heavy.
Ridley and Tony Scott are from my north or east of England. Oh, I love Ridley Scott. I love Tony Scott, man. Ridley Scott has made some great movies in the past, man. Ridley Scott has created tons of great movies. Guys, what I want to say is this. What I want to say is this. You can't expect, and I'll repeat this again. Let this be for the record. Maybe somebody's going to see this in the future, like a time capsule. Or maybe they're going to realize, hey, Mr. 4K is really bringing a good point here. And maybe we all should listen. Guys, I don't care where you live in, which part of the world. As human beings, we can't expect to have a peaceful society, to have a wonderful singing kumbaya, holding hands society, if we are selfish, if we are looking down upon people, if we are judging people based on their physical appearance, based on their birth given health situation problems, if we're looking down upon people, if we are rejecting people, guys, you're gonna get exactly what you asked for. We gotta change that, man. We gotta change the way we treat other people. We're all people. We're all human beings. Nobody wants to live an angry life. Nobody wants to be violent. We all want to be happy, man. We all want to live a happy life. No one wakes up and say, I want to be a monster. No one wakes up and say, I want to be a monster. We gotta take care of one another, man. Even Joe Rogan talked about this. You know, even Joe Rogan says, hey, listen, We're all trying to figure this out. It was with Duncan Trussell, his friend. Duncan Trussell, I think that's his name. He says, we're all trying to figure this out. You know, but we got to stop looking down on each other. You live in a dump, or you live in a basement, or you live here, or you live there. Let's help on that. Okay, you live in a dump, you live in a basement. Let me help you. I know so-and-so. Let's help each other. So that way, if you get back on your 2 feet, you can help other person who's living in a basement. You can get him out of the basement. You can open other doors for him. You can help him out. He can fix himself, get in shape, start living healthier, right? Homeless people who are out there, let's help them out. Let's create a program, you know. But right now, we don't have that. Right now, we're not doing that. Right now, we're not doing that. Right now, what we're doing is division. Selfishness and division. The worst kind. And that's why everything's so shitty, guys. That's why society's so shitty. Yeah. This is something that, dude, I get these signals. I don't know. Is it from aliens or... I don't know, maybe they're communicating with me, dude. I really think aliens are communicating with me, and they're trying to spread this message across, maybe through YouTube, for some reason. You know, guys, it doesn't have to be like this. I guess that's the message I'm getting from them. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. But the problem is, we're so selfish. And this is why this is hurting us. Selfishness. You know, a lot of people are jealous of me because I have a YouTube channel. But why are you jealous? You know, I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a trillionaire. I'm just a regular guy who's doing YouTube. But I have set of rules, you know. Like, I don't accept discrimination. I don't accept betrayal. If you're my friend and you betray me, I don't accept that. You know, I have set of rules. Set of principles, you know. Does that make me a bad guy? I don't think so. That just makes me a guy who's fair, who has set of rules, set of principles. And I don't break those principles for nobody. But I do understand that a lot of people out there are being influenced by a lot of negative shit. A lot of bad influences, man. A lot of bad influences there. And that's the problem, you know. All these bling bling, all that rap you're listening to, all that hip hop music, all that, you know, rock music, all that techno music, all the bling 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 bling. Bling bling. That's all negative. That's all fake, false. Okay? All that bling bling. Same thing with the sport, you know. People are being brainwashed. The kids, mainly the kids, the young youth in, you know, in colleges, in high schools, are being brainwashed by all the bling bling, and this is why we are in this mess, man, of selfishness. I'm better than you. I'm more powerful than you. I got more bling bling than you. Fuck you. Look at Conor McGregor. Totally selfish. When is he gonna grow up? Come on, man. You're a father. You got a kids. You got a kid. You got a wife. You should be blessed. You should be blessed that you are given this opportunity to become so successful. But you should do something with that. Try to be humble. Try to be respectful. Try to make that sport more respectful instead of just being that fuck yeah, you know, that bullshit. Look at Khabib. Khabib is very humble. He doesn't, even Poirier is very humble. We need more humble people, man. Right now we got too much of that McGregorish, you know. Same thing with even Tyson Fury needs to be more how you call it, humble. But you see how the powers to be, they're changing him. They're already changing Tyson Fury. Now he's becoming what Deontay Wilder was, the loudmouth. You know, the big Dasa. I'm gonna knock you out, the big dasa, right? He's becoming exactly what the powers to be. You know, these societies. You know, those guys. I talk about these guys all the time. You know, I can't say enough about these assholes, and that's why I don't like them. You know, really. And I don't want to talk about them because I really don't like them. I could have become. I told you many times, guys. I could have become one of them, but behind that whole Freemasonry, they believe in other shit, and the sinister shit. And the sinister shit they believe in, it doesn't benefit the rest of the world. It doesn't benefit our society. It might benefit a certain individual to be worshipped and celebrate, but it doesn't benefit all of us. That's why I don't like these guys. You know, or this, you know. Can't stand those motherfuckers. I really can't. And you can see the influence, right? The influence in even Tyson Fury prior to this fight, which is next Saturday, right? July 24th. This fight. You can see how they're grooming him in. Now he says, he even talks shit about Eddie Hearn. Why do you have to be so nasty to Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn never said anything bad to you. You know, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn. He was just simply saying, you promised me that you're going to do this fight on Sky Sports with Anthony Joshua, and now you change your mind. You know, and I felt, why are you doing this the last minute? It's not fair to me, it's not fair to Sky Sports, and it's not fair to Anthony Joshua. So, you know, you see how they change you, you know, and guys, we doesn't have to be this way, but there's a lot of bad influence, and these influences are coming from the top. You know, the shadow people, the ones you don't see, forget the politicians, please. Politicians are just puppets, actors, reading a damn teleprompter. I can be the greatest actor on the planet, believe me, guys. I could be Academy Award winner, but I don't want to. I could be the Academy Award winner, right? I can remember the lines. I can read the teleprompter. I can follow directions. I can do it properly. Okay, anybody can be an actor, but I could be a really good actor. That's what the politicians are. They're just actors. I used to work for them. I used to drive them. I used to take care of them. But I cannot talk about that. It's confidential. Okay? But they're actors. Actors. Theater. That's what they are. Guys, we gotta, us as regular Joes, regular Marys, regular Jose's and Lee's and Trivans, right? And you know, Abdullahs and Latifas, and right, us regular people. We gotta take care of ourselves, man. We gotta help each other. You know. I'm not saying give all your money to somebody. I'm simply saying help out, man. You know, if somebody's in need of help, help them. That right there is a major game changer. Right there. Small little things will inject something into people's mind and say, hey, people are not that bad. Maybe I was wrong. You know, there's good people out there. Things are changing. People are helping each other. People are helping one another. All right. I don't have to resort to violence. We're helping each other. Okay. I can do the same thing. You know, I can get back on my 2 feet, start a company, start hiring people, helping them so they can start a company, help other people, and help others and create programs and do other things, right? It's like an ants working together, right? We should be like ants working together. You can't be dependent on one actor, one leader is not going to change the world. Or dozens of leaders, actors, are not going to change the world because they're actors. They're appointed there. Those votings don't mean shit. That's just for the show. That's just for the show. That's a theater. Those elections and primaries, they already know who's going to be in the office in 2024. And they already know who's going to be in 2029 and 2030 and all that. They already got the whole thing planned. But they got other plans as well. Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. If the Plan A doesn't work, we go to Plan B, Plan C, the entire plans of alphabets. They're actors. They're just actors. That's it. Guys, I'm telling you the truth. They're actors. But some of them are good actors. Some of them are very convincing. Some of them are really good actors. And it can be appealing. The way they look, the way they talk, that could be very appealing and attractive. And that's how they get you, you know. Ooh, this guy looks so good. Oh, she looks so good. Look at the way he talks. I'm voting for him. Honey, I'm voting for him. Guys, we got to take care of each other. I'm getting these signals from aliens for a reason. Like, we got to take care of each other. No one's going to do it for us. And they're not going to do it for us. They can't. We got to do this on our own, man. No one else is going to step in to do it. We got to do it together. No one else is going to step in. There is no one guy. There is no one leader. Okay, there's just us. Us. 8 billion of us. And we all got to take care of each other, man. That's it. And that's all I'm going to say. Clap, clap. Clap, 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 clap. Hold on. All right, let's go. I don't want the standing ovation, guys. It's not about me. It's about what they're telling me, the message. I'm just a messenger. All right? The aliens are sending me the message. I'm just a messenger. That's what it is. Now, let's continue to this flight. How do they look like? I don't know how they look like. They haven't showed themselves to me, but I can hear them. They can tell me how to avoid certain situations. They can send me a warning. They can send me an instinct warning about something that might go down, and I can avoid that, so I can survive. They definitely help me out. But, oh no! Oh my goodness! I better get my shit together. I don't know if it's them or if it's somebody else, but I'm definitely getting some messages, some good vibes. You know, these are all positive messages, man. They're all positive, you know, positive messages that maybe somebody's going to look at this. I look at my channel like a time capsule. I know it's a small channel. I know it's not a big channel. It's a small channel. And it's not put on that algorithm. But who knows? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like a time capsule, right? Someone will find this video. And someone will need to hear the message that I'm bringing across. And maybe that's all it's going to take, just for them to hear that message. You know, think of this like a time capsule. Time capsule, 10 years from now. That's the way I look at things. Pacquiao versus Spence. That's a good one, man. They're both good. They're good. They're both good, man. That could go to distance. Pacquiao versus Spence could go to distance, I think. Could easily go to distance. But we'll see. I like when it goes to distance, honestly, because it makes the pay-per-view more worthwhile. Imagine how people felt with the McGregor fight. Oh, God, I just wasted $85 and this guy broke his leg. I really hope that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, they put in a good show, and I really hope that it goes to distance. I want to see the whole thing goes to like distance. Was it 5 rounds? Go to distance. I want to see the whole thing go to distance, man. I like those kind of boxing matches. You know, I think that's where you get tested, as to see what your boxing skills are and how good you are. And it puts on a good show. I don't like the quick fights. Like you just getting ready and boom, second round, knockout. Okay. You know, I'm not into those kind of fights, you know. Nine more days, Gavin Ace. Can you believe it? 9 more days. 9 more days. And we'll get to fly into the space simulator. That should be the next thing. All right, we still got a long way to go. But it's beautiful over here. We're in British Columbia, going to Prince George, but it's beautiful, guys. Let me show you. This place is just beautiful, 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 man. British Columbia is just beautiful. Yes, the world needs to be humble. And I guess that's my message. That's the message I'm getting from aliens. We have to be humble, guys. We don't have to be perfect. No one's asking us to be perfect. I don't like the word perfect. But the humble and honest is what we need to do. You know? And appreciate it, too. And help where we can help. You know, a lot of people make excuses. Oh, dude, I cannot help, dude. You know, come on. Yes, you can help. But it's that selfishness, that greediness, that is not allowing you to help. Of course you can help. You can spend $1 here, $2 there. Maybe that $5 will help somebody buy a loaf of bread or something, or a bottle of water. Yes, you can help. But your selfishness is not allowing you to do that. You know, that's the issue. You know, but yes, we can help. We can help. People say, why don't he get a job? Find it. Maybe he cannot get a job under the circumstances that person is in. You know, maybe he cannot get a job. You know, we like to judge people so quickly without even understanding their situation, without even knowing their past and what they've been through and their whole situation. You know, that's another thing. Why we're so quick to judgment. Oh, you're gonna love it, man. You're gonna love this game. Trust me, man. This I'm gonna lower my speed a little bit. Oh. Oh no! Oh Lord! I screwed it up, guys. I screwed it up. I lost control. I lost control. I'm done. I lost control, guys. I lost control. I lost it. What happened is I was accelerating. I was decreasing my speed way too much, and what happened is the weight of the engine pulled me down. The weight of the engine of the left rudder, of the left rotator, pulled me to the left and dragged me to the left. Yep. But that's okay. We can take off from Prince George, as a matter of fact. We can take off from Stewart, actually. Can we? Hold on. We can go to Winnipeg International. Here we go. We'll do a short flight from Winnipeg to, let me see, to Southport. We'll do a short little flight from Winnipeg to Southport, right over here. Right here. We'll just do a little short flight. We'll do a little short flight. What happened is I was decreasing my mixtures, my fuel injection, fairly quickly with the RPM. And you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do it slowly and gradually. You're supposed to keep it decreasing that speed. And what happened is I was doing it very fast. And when you do that very fast, the left side of the engine pulls that weight, that weightness, you know, of the engine slowing down, pulls it to the left. And I lost the control and I started spinning and it was too late. Oh, I used to be homeless, for the record. Of course. You know, you gotta eat, man. You know, sure, there's some drug addicts out there, of course. And they should be definitely put in clinic and to go through rehabilitation. But we don't have any programs that will do that, unfortunately. Keep it like that. Just slightly nose up. Do that. Here we go. I think I already showed how to do this earlier today, but I'm doing it really quick now, just so we can get the engine started. Oh, that's right. I forgot. The most important thing. It's a fuel tank. There we go. Fuel tank, it's on. Let's do this again. Do the same thing for the left engine. All right, we're good. Well, yeah, nobody wants to be homeless. I mean, Jesus. First of all, you're exposed to criminals out there and violence and all kinds of shit, you know. Diseases and not being healthy. And, dude, there's so many horrible conditions you have to go through. All right, ATC. Let's go.
Winnipeg clear clearance delivery MRFOURKAY19er 79er heavy ready to copy IFR clearance to portage.
MRFOURKAY19er 79er heavy is cleared to Portage Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 118.0 squawk 4763.
MRFOURKAY19er 79er heavy cleared to Portage Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 climb and maintain 6,000 feet.
Runway 18. Runway
Departure
18.
118.0 squawk 4763.
MRFOURKAY19er 79er heavy readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.0.
All right, let's go ready to taxi. Okay. Pa, 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 pa. I'm ready to taxi. Ready to taxi.
Ground MRFOURKAY19er 79er heavy with India ready to taxi IFR.
I'm ready to taxi.
MRFOURKAY19er 79er heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 18.
This will be a short flight. This will be a very short flight, guys. Not a long flight, but a very short one.
Taxi to and hold short runway 18 via taxiway Hotel Foxtrot MRFOURKAY19er
That's okay.
79er heavy.
All right, let's go. I went too fast. I went too fast. So we're on a Winnipeg International. I'm gonna go west. Be like, I don't know, like a 30 miles. That'd be a short flight. I feel like I'm driving a truck. Obviously, I'm doing this too fast. Doing this too fast. This thing is fast. It's 850 horsepower. I'm fast and furious, man. I'm fast and furious. I'm in a hurry, man. I gotta take this plane. I'm in a hurry. We don't have time to joyride. Do a little spin, a little bit of spin here, you know. Doing it like a street racing style. Doing some donuts, you know. And that's it, guys. Here we go. The runway. There we go. I mean, normally you're supposed to do this slowly, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so. All right, I guess I'm ready to go. This is it. This is the line right here. We're ready.
Tower MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy ready for departure runway 18 IFR to portage.
Let's go. Let's
Report
go.
79er heavy altimeter 30.12 wind 187 at 20. Cleared for takeoff runway 18.
Cleared for takeoff runway 18 MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy.
I can't believe I'm running this in native 4K, 48 frames per second, with the PC that I have. It's really amazing. Remember, we're in a hurry, guys. We're in a hurry. So we're doing this in a hurry. Like we have to get there somewhere quick.
4K19er 79er heavy contact Winnipeg Center on 118.0.
118.0 for MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy. Winnipeg Center MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy is at 1,500 feet, climbing 6,000 feet.
Okay, climbing 6,000 feet.
MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy Winnipeg Center altimeter 30.12 continue as planned. MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy verifies squawking 4763. Winnipeg Center MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy 2 miles west of Winnipeg. Request IFR to portage ready to copy.
I should be able to make it there for like 30 minutes. Going at like what? 120 knots. I think I can get there in 20 minutes. At 6,000 feet.
Squawk 4763.
At 6,000 feet. Oh, that's beautiful over here, man. That's beautiful here, man. It's beautiful. Look at this, man. This is beautiful.
Turn left, heading 270, resume on navigation climb, then maintain 12,000 feet MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy. Winnipeg Center MRFO URKAY19er 79er heavy requesting vector to next waypoint.
I would, like I said earlier, I would suggest that you guys stick with one airplane. Stick with the airplane that you like. the airplane that you like, the airplane that you enjoy, and just stick with that.
Resume on navigation MFS2020 while 1979 heavy.
Because that's the best thing to do, honestly. It's stick with an airplane that you enjoy. Okie doke. Looks like we're good. We're gonna maintain 6,000 feet and stay like this.
Heavy requesting vector to next waypoint. Heavy turn left, heading 270.
From Winnipeg to I pick a random place over here, just west of Winnipeg, CYPG. Forgot the name of it, but it's a place. We're just doing like a short little flight. I picked a random airport. I don't know if you know where that is in Canada, but it's in British Columbia, Winnipeg to CYPG. Right over here. Well, I really didn't even care about the name because I just want to do a random takeoff and short flight so I can land. Originally, I was going to do, obviously, Washington State, Grant County to Prince George, but, you know, I lost the control. I spin, and that's the rest is history. Southport, well, there you go. And as you can see, it's like a 27 nautical miles. It's not that far. It's very short, but that's what I wanted to do. It's like a short little flight. Oh, we're almost there, man. This is a very slow, short flight. Very short flight.
Descend and maintain 5,200 feet. Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 18 approach via exit transition cleared to exit generic 07 Tango.
I'll have to prepare for this.
MRSO URKA Y1979 heavy. Please expedite your climb 12,000 feet.
Oh, we will. Don't worry. We will. You impatient lady from the ATC. I know. Well, I did. That's why I said, you know, I'm already at the like 4,000 feet. I was at the 4,000 feet, but she says you need to descend to 5,000. I was like, hey, right now I'm not even like maybe even quarter of that. Why? I mean, I don't need to. Why would I want to climb 12,000 feet? I'm like right at the airport, right? Why would I want to do that? Makes no sense.
MRSO URKA Y19 miles east. Descend and maintain 2,300 feet. Expect VOR DME runway, tree 1 left approach, via Yankee Papa Golf transition.
Oh my god.
Clear to Yankee, Papa Golf.
I think she's drunk.
MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er heavy, you are 20 miles east of Portage. Contact tower on 126.2 when inbound on the approach.
Well, we're gonna contact them once we get
Tower
there.
on 126.2 MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er heavy. Tower MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er
Runway
heavy,
31L,
19er
okay.
miles east inbound towards Miami.
There it is. I see it.
31 left approach.
I see it.
MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er heavy tower. Altimeter tree, 0.02 wind 177 at 16. Cleared VOR, DME runway, tree 1 left approach.
I see it, my friend.
Cleared VOR, DME runway, tree 1 left approach, MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er heavy. Tower MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er heavy, is unfamiliar with the area. Request directions to the airport. MRSO URKA Y19er, 79er heavy airport is 10 o'clock 16 miles.
Okay, got it. Got it, drunken lady. Yeah, the ATC is not that accurate on the flight simulator. They need to fix that. Honestly, I think they should fix it. The most accurate is the VATSIM, but VATSIM, you know, you have to remember those acronyms. You have to remember those codes. You know. You gotta know how to talk on VATSIM. This is a very short flight, man. This is like what? Not even 20 minutes. Maybe less than that. Maybe less than that. Yeah. Mr. Sandman. Yeah. Mr. Sandman. Bring me a drink. Yep. Something like that. There's the airport. The airport's right there, my friends. My friends. My friends. My friends. Looks very nice. It's beautiful here. Southport. Why they call it Southport? I wonder why. I wonder why. Why they call it Southport? I wonder why. A lot of farms down there, huh? Farmhouses. And UFO landings. I think that's why they call it Southport, because it's south of where this lake is. See this lake? It's a big lake. Can't believe 9 days, man. 9 days. Can you believe it, guys? 9 days, and the wait is over. Wait, it's over. Finally. The wait is over. The wait is over. We're not gonna roll over, because the wait is over, man. I can't believe it. When is the Ghost of Tsushima coming out? Director Scott. Does anybody know? Because my PlayStation is collecting dust right now. Honestly, it's so ridiculous. My PlayStation 5 is collecting dust. Like, is there anything I can feed this thing? God damn. Sony, what the hell are you doing? Played Returnal. No! No. You're gonna have to pay me $50 an hour. Seriously, I meant what I said. $50 an hour to play Returnal is the only way. It's like the only way. August 20th. Okay. Pretty cool. And it will take the full advantage of PlayStation 5, correct? Hold on. What did I do? What did I do? Well, that sucks. You know, because Sony they need something. They need anything. Because, I mean, I'm looking for a reason to turn on my PlayStation 5. And right now, I'm like, dude, like, I just have no reason. There's nothing there. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm like, Jesus. go, fellas. There's the airport. The airport is here. The airport. Well, they better do it fast, because, you know, I don't like what I'm hearing so far. Gran Turismo 7, maybe 2022. Forbidden West, possibly 2022. They don't know. Maybe. I don't like it, man. I don't like what I'm hearing. Ragnarok, they don't know yet. All these delays, and I don't know, dude. It's, life is too short, man. Nothing, tomorrow is not guaranteed, man. We're tired of waiting. They had plenty of years to work on these next-gen games. Whatever. And Sony is not a small company. They're a huge company. They have money. They have resources. I'm not giving Sony any pass. They need to get their shit together. Okay? You're not a small, independent, little tiny company. I'm not giving these assholes any pass. They need to get their shit together, man. Where's Gran Turismo 7? Where's Gran Turismo Sport? PlayStation 5 upgrade. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Come on, guys. What the hell's going on? I will not accept their bullshit, guys. I will not accept it. I will not do that. That might work with someone else, but not gonna work with me. They need to get their shit together. They need to get their shit together. Like, for real. Sony, get your shit together. We're not asking too much. Look, you can see the moon in the distance. Come on, man. Look at these games, you know. Days Gone, only 60 FPS unlocked. Everything else the same. The Last of Us Part 2, only 60 FPS unlocked. Everything else the same. That's not impressive for a next generation. They're not even taking advantage of NVMe solid state drive. They're still same long-ass loading times. It's pathetic, man. If you ask me personally, man. What Sony has been doing, it's pathetic. And I'm not happy about it, dude. And I'm not the only one who's saying this. There's a lot of people. They're not happy about what Sony's doing. Especially that cross-gen bullshit. You know, cross-gen crap. Just not good, man. It's not good, guys. Sony needs to get their shit together. They need to get their act together. You know, it doesn't have to be like this. I don't give a shit if I was not cleared to land. I cleared myself. I cleared myself. I did it myself to land. Drunken lady. She's a Karen. You know what? This lady on the ATC, she's a Karen, dude. She's nothing. You are such a Karen. You're such a Karen. You are such a Karen. And I will not tolerate listening to the Karen. You hear me? I'm sick and tired of you Karens. You're not. I don't want to hear it. I was clear. I was clear. I cleared myself. What is she talking about? Of course I was cleared. Of course I was cleared. What the hell is she talking about? I was cleared, and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the runway over here. I'm gonna make my way around and go over here. Yes, I'm gonna go right over here to one of the hangars. Good. What a Karen, dude. What a goddamn Karen. Shut up, Karen. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear you. I'm not cleared. What is she talking about? I'm not cleared. Of course I'm cleared. That's nonsense. You're not cleared. Of course I'm cleared. If it was a short flight, I was just testing myself to see, you know, how well I can take off and land. I really like this plane because I'm so familiar with this plane, and I can easily take off and land and fly. That what happened previously was I made a mistake. I was decreasing my mixtures, and when you decrease the mixtures of your fuel injection on your left engine, then the weight of that engine pulls you down to the left, and then you spin around and you lose control. You know what I mean? But anyway, getting back to Sony, it's just disappointing, man. Because right now, I really... Maybe Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Maybe that's something I can, you know, look into. But other than that, I don't know what else is there. I don't know what else is there. We're gonna park it. I'm surprised they couldn't bring, you know, Forbidden West in October. That wouldn't be a great deal. Or Gran Turismo 7 in October. Imagine if they brought Forbidden West and Gran Turismo 7 in October. How awesome that would be, right? How awesome that would be. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. So we're going to be left playing Flight Simulator. People say, well, why are you going to be playing Flight Simulator? Because that's the only good thing on a console right now that's going to be happening 9 days from now. You know, this is a huge advantage for Xbox. If you ask me, this is a huge advantage for the Xbox right now, man. Big time.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Foxtrot MRFO URKA Y1979er Heavy.
You guys agree that that's like a big advantage? Hold on. Supposed to go here. I don't know. That's it. I'm done here. Nothing else to do. Open the door.
Ground MRFOURKAY19er.
There it is. And that's it. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I mean, I've been streaming a lot. Yesterday I was streaming a lot. The day before yesterday, I mean, there's tons of content, tons of stuff for you guys to watch. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. We'll figure that out. I thought about maybe doing a PlayStation 5 tomorrow. Talk about the PlayStation 5. You know, connect my PlayStation 5, bring it here to the office and talk about it a little bit. You know, have a discussion. You know, I thought about doing maybe a state of PlayStation 5. Thought about doing that. Talk about that a little bit. You know, state of PlayStation 5. And have a conversation about it. You know. Go to some games and just have a nice little debate, you know, peaceful debate. Nothing too crazy, just you know, a nice little debate. I thought about maybe doing that tomorrow. If you guys up for it, you know, to have a little discussion. I want to call it the state of PlayStation 5, because it's really concerning. You know, it really makes you wonder, like, the console has been out for what, almost 12 months. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, almost 9 months. It's gonna be almost 10 months pretty soon. 10 months, right? And what do we got? Returnal. And the only good thing was just Ratchet and Clank. And like, look, I enjoyed Ratchet and Clank. I've done videos on Ratchet and Clank. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I had a great time. You know, but when you finish it, are you going to go back to it? Are you going to go back and forth and play it? I don't think so. See, that's what I was saying to somebody yesterday. I said, look, man, I think I was saying it to Overexposer. A guy came in. I think he's still here. I told him, like, you know, and he agrees with me. I'm like, Ratchet and Clank, it's nice. I enjoyed it. I didn't say nothing bad about Ratchet and Clank. If you type in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I had nothing bad to say about that game. And it's definitely the one game for you to show what your PlayStation 5 can do at the moment. And it's a beautiful game. But when you finish it, that's it. You might go back again, maybe 2-3 times, and that's it. But is that one game enough to warrant a PlayStation 5 price tag? That's the question I want to ask you guys tomorrow. Right? Is that enough to warrant the ridiculous overpriced price tag from these resellers? $800, $900, right? Close to $1,000. Is it worth that price tag? My opinion, no. But then people are going to say, but then why you have it? The only reason I got it was because of the YouTube. Because I wanted to test it myself. I wanted to see it for myself, you know, for the same reason that I got the X and S, because I have this YouTube channel. But in honesty, yeah, still no SSD option 10 months later. Still no 1440p, 120 hertz refresh rate. Still no updates for PlayStation 4 games. There's a tons of PlayStation 4 games, quantum gaming uploads. There's tons of PlayStation 4 games, like The Last of Us Part 2. They didn't take the advantage of the ray tracing. They didn't take the advantage of the resolution. They didn't take the advantage of the higher textures. They didn't take the advantage of solid state drive, no loading time, SSD, fast loading. They didn't take the advantage of that. The Last of Us Part 2, it's exactly the same Last of Us Part 2 that you played on the PlayStation 4 Pro. The only difference is it's at 60 FPS. Does that warrant for you to switch from PlayStation 4 Pro and buy a $900 console just to play 60 FPS? No. In my opinion, hell no. Hell no, guys. And this is what I was talking about. And this is what I want to talk to you guys about tomorrow. Now, there's some cool features that PlayStation 5 has. And I talked about that. Cool features like, I love the new user interface. I like how everything is faster and moving more fluid. I love the DualSense controller. I love the 3D audio. I love the haptic feedback. I love the adaptive triggers on certain racing games, certain first-person shooter games, right? There's some benefits, but we can't just focus on the positive. A lot of mistakes that my friends made, and one guy who was my friend, which name I'm not going to mention, but you know who he is, which I'm not going to get into why he's not my friend anymore. He was constantly talking about the positives about the PlayStation 5. Even when he was on my 8-hour live stream, I let him talk for 8 hours, running his mouth, talking about PlayStation. And there's others who are my friends, who are clearly Sony fanboys. None of them addressed the negative. They never talk about the negative about the PlayStation. They always focus on this positive. And like, hey, dude, you can't just talk about the haptic feedback. You can't just talk about a 3D audio. You can't just talk about the adaptive triggers. You can't just talk about, what's the other thing? The fact that you can share someone to play the game through which is a cool feature, share play. I like share play, and I said I think it's a cool feature that Sony has to let people share, but it's not the same thing. Depending on your internet connection, you're not going to really experience what the game really looks like and what the game can bring in terms of quality. The only thing you can experience with a share play is feeling that DualSense controller and that haptic feedback. But the share play, it's also available on the PlayStation 4 Pro. The share play, it's also available on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I can use a share play and do the same thing on the PlayStation 4 Pro, right? But the problem is with my ex-friends, who used to be my friends, they were constantly focused talking about the PlayStation 5 as if it's some holy grail, as if it's this cup of Christ or this monolith that creates life and births of new planets, right? Gives birth to new planets. But that's not the case. It doesn't matter what technology you have built inside that console. If you're not putting any exclusive games to take the advantage of that. And Sony's whole mantra was exclusives, right? But we don't see that. We're not seeing it in the numbers that we used to. Something changed. In 2017, we had a bunch of exclusives on PlayStation 4 Pro. In 2016, we had a bunch of exclusives. In 2018, bunch of exclusives. In 2019, bunch of exclusives. Even last year, we had exclusives. We have The Last of Us Part 2. But what happened? You know, what's changed with the PlayStation 5? And again, I hate to be bringing him into this conversation, but what happened is a new CEO. Jim Ryan. That's what happened. That's what happened. Jim Ryan has hurt PlayStation 5 overall. And you see what one CEO can do to a company, to this brand. DualShock 3, 2007, launch edition, PlayStation 3. I have it. I have a PlayStation VR. I have the original 2016 November 10th original PlayStation 4 Pro right here. I got the God of War edition. God of War edition, original launch edition in June of 2017. I have it right here, or 2018, whatever it was, right here. God of War. Okay, I don't need people to tell me about PlayStation. I'm probably the biggest PlayStation fanboy, even bigger than Mystic. I'll go as far to say even bigger than Porto Rock, even bigger than Mystic. But I don't want to, get in some kind of like a pissing contest with those guys. I don't want anybody to tell me about I don't like PlayStation. Dude, I'm the biggest fan of PlayStation. But as the biggest fan of PlayStation, I can criticize it, which I should. If the brand is not delivering, then I should criticize it. It's no different than being a fan of your football team, right? If your football team is not making some right decisions, you as a fan should criticize your football team as a fan, right? So that's how I am pretty much, with PlayStation. This doesn't mean that I don't like PlayStation. This doesn't mean that I am, trying to shit all over PlayStation. It just means that we're not seeing any greatness from PlayStation 5 anymore. And until that day, until that greatness comes, right now it's a dry desert. You guys shouldn't be in a hurry. You shouldn't. If you want my advice, guys, you're fine with PlayStation 4 Pro. You are absolutely okay. You are absolutely okay with PlayStation 4 Pro. Do not go run out and buy a PS5 from StockX. All right? Do not help those resellers. Do not help them, because when you do that, well, then you're sending a message like, and I know I'm guilty of this too, but the reason I got it is because of the YouTube channel. And I told you I was desperate. I need it for the YouTube channel. But I never said to people, go to StockX and buy it. I said only if you're desperate. Clearly my words. Go find that video. Early this year, during March, April, I clearly said, only if you're desperate. If you're not desperate, then don't buy it. You don't have to. I clearly said that. I never said go out and buy it from StockX. I never said that. Find me that video. I just simply said, only if you're really, really desperate. Like you're so desperate and you're like, I need it. Only if you're really desperate. Well, Dean, I already did that. Dean, you came in late, brother. We already landed. You're about 3 hours late. We already landed, brother. We're already here. So anyway, I'm going to go, guys. It's okay. You can rewatch this video later, Dean. Yo, absolutely. Absolutely. A Quantum, I tell you what, man. Series S is hands down the best, most affordable sweetest purchase I ever made, man. Definitely one of my favorite consoles. And I'll probably end up playing Flight Simulator on the Series S, man. Sure, I'm going to play it on the X. I'm going to experience it on the X. But I'll really try to focus a lot of time playing it on the S. And I know a lot of people might be critical of me. Why would you want to do that, Mr. 4K? Well, because the chances are that you'll have better luck getting yourself a Series S for $300 in Walmart every other 2 weeks, checking out every other 2 weeks on Friday morning. You'll have better chance finding that Series S than Series X. And the chances are more people will buy Series S because it will be more available and they will play Flight Simulator on Series S. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to test Series X version. Of course I'm going to test both versions. Of course I'm going to live stream both versions. Of course I'm going to put it through my televisions and monitors, etc., etc. But it'll be interesting to see how Series S is handling such a complex Flight Simulator software. Yeah, you're going to have to rewatch it. Well, Dean, if you look at my live stream, it tells you exactly when I started. If you click on description, you'll see exactly when the live stream started. It tells you it started 2 hours and 49 minutes ago. But that's okay. You can rewatch it, you know. I mean, I don't know how you guys, seriously, I really don't understand. If I didn't put any like 3 hours ago, I sent the community message forum. It says the skies are clear from Grant County, Washington, all the way to the beautiful beautiful British Columbia, Canada, Prince George Town. Sunday flight, Seneca 5, now my primary plane. And there's me drinking coffee. It tells me one of the other things. I don't know. You guys don't have that bell notification, guys. I don't know if you guys subscribe or do you unsubscribe or subscribe. I don't know what you guys are doing. But I don't think you guys have clicked that bell notification. Even when you take your phone, you guys have your phones on you all the time, right? And you guys have a YouTube app. I know for a fact everybody has a phone. I know that for a fact. And I also know when you take your phone out, there will be a notification from your YouTube. If you have selected notification, clearly you will see community forums that I'm letting you know, hey, I'm doing a live stream. And I always do that, man. I don't know how you guys miss it. I mean, if I don't let you know, that's a one thing. Then I just randomly started live streaming. But I always let you guys know. I always put a, community forum. So either A, you guys don't have the bell notification turned on. And I think that's probably the case. Your bell notification needs to be turned on for everything that I do. Even if I fart, you will know about it. Hypothetically speaking. But you have to turn that notification on. And I don't think you guys have it on. Because if you do have it on, there's no way you can miss. I'm telling you, guys. So I don't know how you guys miss it. I really don't understand. But I don't know. I don't know you guys personally. I don't know what your stances are. Maybe you don't like me. Maybe you just pretend you like me. I don't know what your stance is. I don't want to judge anybody here, but I don't know. I can't read your mind. I don't know what your intent is. Is it a good intent? Is it just here to, whatever, shoot some shit, fart a little bit? I don't know. Maybe you have your primary YouTube guy who you go to and you give him money and you support that guy. Selecting that bell notification, I'm telling you, there is no way for you to miss when I'm live streaming because I give you 3 hours in advance. I give you plenty of time to prepare to join my live stream. And I don't know how you guys miss it. So unless you're not subscribed, unless you're not using that, I think it's the bell notification. You guys need to click bell notification, then select notify me every single time this guys, because if you have that turned on, there's no way you can miss it. You will see it on your phone. And I do know people pull out their phones and they check it regularly. I know you do it. Everyone does it. They pull out their phones and they check it. There's no way you can miss it, man. It's just no way. So I gotta go, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with the state of PlayStation 5. It's gonna be an interesting one tomorrow. So tomorrow, Dean, come in tomorrow. The state of PlayStation 5. It's gonna be around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I will let you know. You will see it. So there it is. Tomorrow. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good Sunday. Take care.